So today we're speedrunning through Poptropica, probably one of my favorite Flash games of all time. And the island we're going to be speedrunning is Counterfeit Island, which we can start the speedrun as soon as we restart the island. Right away we get a little bit of a loading screen, but as soon as that is done we can run to the right until we make it to this coffee shop. We're going to want to enter that, and as soon as that loading screen is done we also want to exit it, which doesn't make too much sense right now, but it will be important later, so we'll get there in a little bit. For now we just want to run to the right until we make it downtown. Now once we make it downtown we can make it to the clown store, and right here we're going to take the green balloon because this is going to be very useful in just a little bit. So yeah, we have some more running to the right. You know, it's just Poptropica things. If you haven't played this game before, it is an amazing Flash game that I played a lot as a kid, and it's pretty simple. You do some easy platforming, you give a kid a balloon and he flies away and probably dies. Yeah, we murder on this game, don't worry about it. But right after that is done, I'm actually going to refresh the page and go back to the previous page. And because of that, we then teleport instantly to this last page and we can go into this trash can. Right here, we're just gonna go through some trash until we find some tickets in the bottom. I'm not really sure who thought to go in that trash can, but that doesn't matter because now we're gonna go back a couple of times until we make it back to the coffee shop. That's why we wanted to go here earlier. So yeah, you can go through the maps just by going back or forward a page. So we're going to use that multiple times. We'll use this one more time right here and end up right by the police station because now we have a ticket and we can go into the sewers. We're going to show this lady our ticket. She's going to be like, hey, do you want to take a tour? And it is now time for the worst tour I've ever taken in my life. Because the thing about this tour is it isn't really a tour. I'm the one directing it. She's literally just following me. So we're just going to have some fun times. I have to make sure she does catch up to me though, because if you go too fast, they will actually soft lock the game. So you do have to be a little bit careful about that. But we finally got done. I still don't know how that was a tour, but that doesn't matter because we pop out the other side and then this random guy says that he wants our help. Now basically with all of his dialogue, he's going to tell us that he needs some help in saving a very valuable painting, so we're going to the museum right now. There are going to be some people trying to steal it and we need to help to make sure that doesn't happen. Now we want to go and say that we're interested in applying for a job, which the security guard will lead us to this guy. We can ask him what we need to do to get this job, and he tells us that a couple of paintings are in the wrong spots, so we need to return them to their correct spots, which really doesn't make any sense. I don't know how you put these paintings in the wrong spot in the first place, but I guess that doesn't matter. All we need to do is take the different paintings and put them in the correct spot. We see that here. We're just going to take them. I already know the orders and which paintings we have to do, so it's not the hardest thing in the world. Now we can replace this one with the cat one, and I also love this cat one. I don't know, it's just something about it speaks to me. But we finally placed this last painting and we can go back to this guy and hey, now we have the job, I guess. So it's time for our training. We're going to talk to him really quick and he's going to tell us that we need to make sure that none of the artwork is forged, which I mean kind of makes sense because it's a museum. But now we have a couple of mini games where we just kind of cheese them all. In this one, you're supposed to find out which of these paintings is the fake one, and instead of doing that, we just kind of guess and hooray, we did it. Now for this one, we want to see all the signatures. I actually kind of messed up right there, but finally we found the fake one and we can get to the last one where we have to find out that that painting is fake as well because of the moon. Now the next part of the mini games is this paint sample chemical test, where basically we have to press the correct chemicals at the right time. I'm not really sure how you're even supposed to figure out how to do this, because if you press the wrong chemicals, it's just not gonna work. But hey, I have a tutorial, so I didn't really have to worry about it. I just know which order I have to do. Now we're gonna do this for 3 different samples. We're gonna see the first one fails, the second one is actually going to pass, and the third one is also gonna fail, but you kind of can't see that because my timer is blocking it. But whatever, that's another mini game done. So this dude is gonna tell us that we now have to carry a key to the supply room. So we're gonna use the same trick as earlier. Basically, we're just gonna go back a page and we can teleport right over here, and it's time to go to the security office. But before we make it over there, we just got a couple statues to walk past. I don't really care about them. They're kind of ugly. And we're gonna be going all the way over here. We're gonna use our key to go in the supply room and find a piece of paper, which is going to be a torn picture. Now we want to do this thing where we're gonna go back just a couple more times and make it right back to the entrance of here, where we're gonna clock out for the day. He's gonna tell us it's been a long day, better get some rest. And it's now nighttime, so it's time to catch the thief. But instead of doing a lot of stuff where we have to sneak in the museum, we just use the same trick where we go back a page and yeah, we're already here. So yeah, you literally skip a big part about this game by just kind of cheesing it. It's amazing. But hey, we're trying to save the painting and we get arrested. So that's kind of fun. We're going to wake up the next morning at the police station, and this investigator is trying to figure out how we stole the painting. So she's going to ask us a couple of questions and use a lie detector machine. So we just have to make sure that everything is correct. And yeah, we kind of just answer these questions. And she's like, hey, you're innocent, and wants to keep talking to us, but we kind of just leave. Look, you already said I'm innocent. I don't really care about talking to you anymore. So now it's time to find the actual thief. What we're going to want to do is go into the clown store again, because for some reason the security guard is here, which is kind of weird. But we're going to ask him what time he left his post, but he doesn't know, so he gives us his time card. And with that, we can now make our way back to the museum. Now, once we make it to the museum, it's time to go to the security office, because we're going to find out who actually stole the painting. Now we can go all the way over here to this computer, and we can look at the security cams, which I don't know why nobody did this sooner, but we find out, oh, it's the guy who told me to protect the painting. Who would have guessed that? But yeah, we get that picture, and now it's time to go and find this guy. So normally you're supposed to go and show some random people this picture, but we already know who we need to show it to, even though I ran in the wrong direction, and it's going to be this mime. So we're gonna ask her where the man is, and she shows us that it has something to do with music. So it's time to go into the jazz cafe, and we can run up to the dude who for some reason wasn't in his full suit. So that was kind of weird. Sometimes the game does that, but it doesn't really matter. It's time to chase after the dude. Now he's running away on a scooter, so we're also gonna have to run away on a scooter. Yep, it's time for another beautiful minigame. Now this minigame is really weird because what we want to do is crash into this guy multiple times. It won't stop him, but it will speed him up, which will make the speed run even faster. So I'm just going to keep going through, trying not to knock into too many things, because of course that is going to lose us a little bit of time, but in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter. This is also just kind of a really boring minigame, so I'll see you once it's done. And there we go, we finally finished the minigame. This guy's going to make an amazing jump, which he gets right onto a boat somehow. Yeah, we're never gonna catch him. But the lucky thing is we actually find this card, and yeah, I guess it's ours now. So that's gonna come in useful later, but for right now, it's time to go back to the museum. Now, as soon as we get to the museum, someone tells us that we got a package, and it turns out it's Starry Night. Yeah, this is kind of insane. So what we're gonna wanna do is go back onto our blimp so we can travel to other islands. Yeah, cool thing about this mission is we actually go to a different island, early Poptropica, and we go to the Pop Art Museum. Now, once we make it here, we talk to this lady and she's like, hey, I'm gonna help you or something like that. I don't really know how we're supposed to know this in the first place. Like, if I was playing this game casually, I would definitely need a walkthrough, and I'm pretty sure I also did when I was a kid. But hey, I guess that's just kind of what Poptropica is. Very complicated puzzles. At least when you're a kid. It's probably not as complicated nowadays. Anyways, let's just continue on with the game. What we're gonna want to do is use this key we got from that lady to go in this door. So yeah, for some reason, we're just gonna break and enter this house. You know, it's just kind of what you gotta do sometimes. And we can jump all the way up here till we find this painting, and we can reveal that that painting is slightly peeling off, and hey, look, it's the Scream. Yeah, for some reason this random cabin has a Scream, and it also has someone who's going to kill me. Yeah, kinda unlucky. So we wake up somewhere deep in the earth, and we find that this lady is the Black Widow and is the greatest art thief of all time. So we have a way too long conversation about knowing who the cursed curator is. I don't really know. She's just trying to steal some art. I don't really care about it. And hey, look, it's also this guy. So I guess we finally found him. I don't know how he got captured given he was on that boat, but apparently we were both set up. So I mean, you kind of deserved it, dude. But he offers to untie me, so we have to do this really awkward scene where we kind of move our chair back, but we can't use too much force because it's going to cause me to have to restart everything. So we're just going to slowly do this until we make it over there and we untie each other. Now, for some reason, we're on the same side, I guess, so it's time to work together. Now, there are going to be multiple guards in this place, so we have to make sure that they're not able to see us. First of all, I'm going to go jump over here. We see that guy, but somehow he's not able to see or hear me, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Then I make my way over here. We're going to follow this guy and jump on that sofa, and then he captures me. I have no idea how he even saw me or why I stopped, but I guess that's just kind of life. Anyways, here's what you're supposed to do when you do it correctly. It really wasn't that hard. Rip my like 30 seconds. But we're going to use this key card that we got earlier, and it's time to face the final boss. Yeah, you legitimately have boss fights in this game. It's kind of hilarious. But it's going to be this lady, and she is very upset at us. But what this guy does, who I don't really know his name, I guess he's just like the shady dude, we're gonna work together so he can attack her. Now we get into the boss fight where she's gonna try to destroy all the different art pieces, and we have to make sure she doesn't destroy more than $1 million. So I have to go through, jump up, and make sure that these things don't get destroyed, and I'm kind of bad at it. But don't worry, we'll be a little bit better. Once we get 4, we can start reeling him up, and he's literally doing nothing. We're getting hit by literal bombs, and this dude's kind of just sitting there. But it's just what you have to do. I'm gonna get hit with another bomb. She's gonna destroy some more valuable art pieces, but it doesn't matter because he finally made it up there, and we beat her. So we're gonna make it back, and now this lady is telling me, hey, I have something to show you. Meet me at the museum, which I don't know why we couldn't have just gone there together. Literally, it's like a 10-second walk over to the museum, but we finally make it over here, and we're gonna meet with this lady. She's gonna thank us for all the help, even though we barely did anything with her. And she tells us that the world's greatest art is actually hidden behind this other art. Yeah, I don't really know why a museum would do this. I feel like they should actually show this stuff. But hey, look, it's like the greatest paintings in the world. They were literally just hidden. I mean, go off, I guess, but I really don't understand why a museum just wouldn't want to show these off. Anyways, we can end off time right there. And there we go, 1756. Now looking at speedrun.com, that's going to be a second place. I'll take it. So yeah, let me know if you want me to speedrun any more of these islands. And hey, subscribe if you enjoyed.